hit that button too. All right. Excellent. Okay, and I'm also going to mute everybody. Hi, Elizabeth. We were just talking about your awesome double stop thing, which I got to look at yesterday. And you did really good, but you missed one.
Oh!
You missed
one.
Okay,
send me the edit, and I'll change it, and then
yes, yes, I will edit it and then and send it back to you. But otherwise, you did a great job, and it's really good to spell it out like that, eh? It really kind of it helps you remember how to do them when you actually write it out. It's a really good idea. Thanks for doing that. And I see you got an outdoor scene there tonight. That's nice. Okay, G major. I'm going to mute everybody. And we'll try our G major scale. I don't have my phone because the kids are listening to Perry Grip. I don't know if you've ever heard Perry Grip, but it's pretty infectious. Anyway, so I'm going to use my old tuner, which is very, very picky. Okay, my tuner is happy. G major scale. Ready, 2, here we go. How's everybody feeling about G? Is it okay? Not too bad? Maybe we'll just try it again then, eh? I'd say, why not? Right away, same thing again, except better. 1, 2, here we go. That a little bit better that time? Good. Very, very good. Now, let's try our arpeggio. First, we'll just play it, and then we'll see if we can do those double stops that I was talking about last time, okay? And I'll call them out, don't worry, as we do it. But first of all, let's just play the broken arpeggio, as they call it. And then we'll start joining together the notes. So first of all, just for the practice, G major arpeggio. Ready, and... Okay, now I see my G string is a little tiny bit flat and I'm at the bottom of my fine tuner. I've been putting it off for a long time, so I'm just going to give it a little adjustment here. Just give me 1 second. Geez, sorry about that, guys, but when you make a drastic change to one string, it really does affect all the other ones. So if that ever happens, make sure you go and check, because 9 times out of 10 it moves the other ones too. Okay, so one more time with the arpeggio, but this time we're going to put the notes together. So we're going to play the open G, then we're going to play the B, and then we're going to play the D with the B. Okay? And then we're going to play the opens, and that's the one that you missed there, Elizabeth, was just the open G. See that? That's what I usually do with that. So, and it's just a bit of practice. It gives you another chance to play the open strings. So let's try it. So we got the open G. We got the G2. We got the D, the B, and the G together. And then we got the opens. And then we got the 3 and the open. The octave. Okay, and then we got the B and the G. And then we got the octave again. That's the D on the A string and the open D string. And then we got the hard one, the 4th, which is A3 and E2. And hopefully it sounds just like that, okay? Now let's bring it down. So let's play that again. And then let's play the octave, A3 and open D. And then let's play the open D and A1. And then we got A1 and D3. And then we got the opens, D and G. And then the B. And then the opens again. Okay, there's your options for the key of G. Now, how did that go? Does anybody have any problems or questions about trying to do that? Yes, Susan.
What was that last one? What was the last one? The A3 and E2?
Yep, that's right. A3 and E2. That's a D and a G.
That's hard to get your fingers around, eh?
It's one of the hardest ones to do, and it's well known. It's called a 4th. The notes are four notes apart there, and it's well known on the violin to be hard to tune because it's a little bit of a finger twister, right? And also it's one of those intervals. The 4th is one of those intervals that when it's in tune, it's in tune. When it's not, you can really hear it. On your attempt there, Susan, what you did there, it sounded like your D was in tune. Okay, and your G was a little bit sharp, which is the usual. When I first started to do 4ths, I found that because your second finger, your second finger is so long, it tends to poke into the string too hard, and it can make that note, that upper note, sharp when you do a 4th, and that's on any of the strings, any of the string combinations. So when I do a 4th, I have to let off a little pressure on that 2. Because I know it's going to want to be sharp. So here it is. Let me show you. So here it is, bang on. Okay. Now if I don't do my little move of reducing the pressure on the 2, this is what it comes out like. hear that little edge there? It's like the G is slightly sharp. So I let that pressure go. And it comes right in, and it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful interval when you hit it. Okay? So that's what's hard about it, and that's a couple of ways that you can get around the fourth. Any other questions or problems or anything like that about the double stop? Well, let's just try it again. I'll ask for more questions after we're done. So let's just do it again. So we got open G and open D together. Ready? And see, my G's gone again. Shows me that it serves me for going to a cottage and taking the fiddle. That's better. Okay. Open G and open D. Ready? And 2. Opens again. 3. A1 and 3. A3 and open D. A3 and E2. Back to the octaves. A1 and open D. A1 and D3. Open D and open G. Open D and G2. And then the opens to finish. All right, and there's some. Now there's more, of course, in G major. There's lots and lots of double stops you can do. This is a nice one. There's like I can go on, but that's a really good sort of starting point because you're playing the arpeggios anyway that you might be able to join some of those notes. Okay? Now, problems, questions, concerns, or complaints about double stops in the key of G?
Not really a complaint, but I think for me the challenge is sometimes the harmony, the extra note, is above and sometimes it's below.
Yes.
And that's why I was compelled to write it out to get it straight in my head.
Yes, it's true. Now, in this case, like, so on the way up, it's mostly the above notes, but you're right. Like the low B, we're harmonizing with the open D, and the G and the B for sure. I guess it depends on the way you look at it, but yes, it definitely helps to write it out, and I will edit that attempt that you made there, Elizabeth. Yeah. Anything else? Any comments or questions about doing that? You having any problems? Anybody having any problems doing it? That's excellent. Right on. So this time, we'll try it one last time. And this time I'm not going to call out the letters and stuff like that. We're just going to do it and see how you get along, remembering the pattern and seeing if you can make it work. All right? Yeah. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. God, do I ever need a rehair? How did that go, everybody? Did it go okay? I saw some kind of faces that were kind of like, oh God. All right, let's do it again. Same thing right away. 1, 2, and here we go. All right, that looked like it went a little bit better. All I have to go by is looks. Okay, anyway, so that's great for the key of G. Let's take a quick look at the key of D before we get into these crazy jigs. All right, so let's play our D major octave and a half, and then I'll show you some double stops in that key as well. That's a really good one to double stop on the fiddle. Okay, so we start on the D. We go all the way up to A. We go all the way down to A. Here we go. Ready, and... Okay, how's everybody feeling about D? We better do it again. One more time. Ready, 2, 3, and... I was brilliant. I don't know about you, but I would give myself a 95. You know, when I put on the Tunable app, it has a little thing where you can record yourself and it gives you a percentage, how you did, you know. And when I first saw that you could do that, I tried it and I was shocked because I got like a 90. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And then it was like my mission all afternoon to see if I could get it up there. And I could only do as good as, like, I think I got 97% is as good as I could do, because you know the fiddle is just never in tune. It's never violin. It's never in tune. You're always a tiny little bit on one side or the other. Everybody, you know. So it's interesting to go through that, but you gotta be not too discouraged. Anyway, so now let's talk through the double stops in this arpeggio. So first of all, we'll try the arpeggio. Let's start on the low A. Okay, and then it's going to be D. So let's give that a go. Ready, and... D. Like it went quite well. It's a lovely key. So now arpeggios that can be double stops. So we got the low A and the D. That's what I just played there. Probably my go-to. In the key of D, that's one of my go-tos. When I get finished a tune in the key of D, I often go for that one. Okay? And then you got the F sharp and the A. Lovely one. That's D2 and open A. And then we got the opens. We got the A and the D. See that? Nice one in the key of D. Very handy. Like, I remember when I first started playing with singers, if they were playing in D, I could just do this. And it would sound just hunky-dory. So a very good one to get. And then we got this one. So we got, so far we have the octave. So that's A3 and open D again. And then we got this one again. See that? That's the A3 and the E1. So we did it before on the other strings, but now we're doing it on the AE combination. And then of course we got the fifth at the top. Really hard one to get bang on. That's what it sounds like when it's bang on. And you can see my finger. If you look at my finger, look what I got going. I'm kind of flat across the two strings at a bit of an angle. You see what that's the only way that I can do it. Otherwise, one side is flat. It's usually the upper side. The high A is usually flat if I don't jam that knuckle down. That's a lovely one there. It's like a bell. It's beautiful, okay? And then you do it on the way down. You got... See that? So let's give it a try. So we got G1, the low A, and open D together. Let's do them together. Ready, and... And then we got the opens, the D and the A. And then we got D2 open A. Opens again. A3 open D. E1 A3. And then A3 E3. We'll go back to the 1 and the 3. Go back to the 3 in the open. Oh, sorry, yeah. We got the open A and the D2. We got the open A and the open D. And then we got the open D and the G1. Okay, we're getting that pattern. I mean, like I said, it's not the only ones available in this key, but it's a very good start. Okay? Any questions or problems with that? Any of that? All right, we try it again then.
Rather than have you say it, are they written down someplace? Like where would I find it?
They will be written down. Elizabeth
Okay.
has written one down, and she has inspired me, and I'm going to rate that one in the key of D and send those out, okay? So they're a little easier to... But it is a pattern that it would be great if you got it under your fingers. That's the way that you use it, right? But yes,
Okay.
I will be writing it down. Thank you, Jay. Okay, let's try it again. G1 and open D to start. That's low A and open D. Ready? And... Open D, open A. F and A. Opens again. D's. D and F. A and D. F and D again. The octaves. Open A, open D. D2 and open A. Opens again. Low A and D. Okay? Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Anybody have any other questions or anything like that about doing it? It's tricky on the bow. You have to sort of split the difference between the weight on the two strings to get them both working properly. Because always remember, when you're working on double stops, it could be your bow putting you out of tune equally as it could be your fingers, okay? So just watch for that first. Make sure it's not your bow, you know? I usually just do a quick check. So I'm doing this double stop. The third, okay? And if I notice that one of them is out of tune, you hear how the B went out of tune there? It went flat. So if I notice that, then I just do a quick check with a light bow. No, I'm good. So I know it was my bow. There it is. Lovely. See that? So that's the way that I check to make sure I'm not putting it out of tune with my bow. Okay, you just split them up. Make sure when you split them up you use a light touch and a regular weight with your left hand. One more time before we move on. All right, and this time I won't shout them out. We're just going to do them. Ready? And... hopefully that you guys will start using those and it'll really get into your music. Now, jig of slurs. So let's go over it not too fast a few times to start off with. Just kind of get it back under our fingers and make sure everybody doesn't have any problems. And then we'll try getting it a little tiny bit faster and then we'll look at the other tune, okay? So we'll start with the jig of slurs. Let me just pull it up so I don't play a different version. Always a danger. Here it is. Geez, I was just playing for one of my students this wicked piping tune called The Last Mile. And it's complicated. She wanted me to make a video for her, so I had to have a couple of cracks at it because it's very syncopated. That was just what was up on my desktop before you guys came on. Okay, jig of slurs from the session. Let's give it a go, not too fast. Let's say about here. Nice civilized pace to start off with, eh? Here we go. Ready, and... right, well, everybody looked happily moving along there. It's good. It's a long one, for sure. Anybody having any problems with the jig of slurs that they would like me to help them with? Anything. No? It's not the hardest tune in the world, for sure. I would show you a few things that I'm doing. If you're getting along good and you want to dress it up a little bit, there's a few things I'm doing in there that you might be interested in doing. So the first part here, a lot of people do a roll. See that? So you do ADD, and then instead of that CDD, people do a great big D roll. Okay? And if you do it really, really short, it makes it sound nice and pipey. See, that's very nice. That's another thing I do there. Now, in the second part, you see all those double notes there. I would put a grace note in between most of those double notes. See how you do that there? Very, very old trick. Really not too hard to do. But if you look at my bowing, to do it in the Scottish way, it's best to just do it single bowed. See how that makes it nice and Scotchy, or you can do it slurred. You see how that works there? It's lovely. It's smoother and a little more Irish sounding, but it's really lovely. But it's nice. It creates a nice rhythm on your bow when you slur those in the up bow and do the grace note, and you can do it kind of as you go along the part and create a rhythm. In the the third part, I do rolls. See that? So a G, and the thing is about this next bit, it's G, F, G, okay? And when you see something like that in a tune, in a jig, for instance, you think to yourself, my God, that's almost a roll, right? Like all you would have to do is add the upper A right after that G, and it would be a roll. So my brain sees that and just does one every time, like almost every time I see it. So this turns into this. See that? Very nice to do in there, okay? When you speed it up, it sounds kind of like this. It's really, really snappy and awesome. And it moves the rhythm along as well. And then in the last part, you got some grace notes. See that? Now, when you see groups of 3 notes together like that, that's what you see it a lot in Highland pipe music. And what you do there is you put a grace note between the last 2 notes of the 3 notes. So G, B, 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 you put a grace note between those last 2 Bs. And then D, 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 a grace note between the last 2 Ds. It would sound like this. Very Scotchy. Okay? So that's where I would put grace notes in the last part. I'll do that again. We got that. And then when I play that E, I always play a B with it. Okay? That's it. The one on your B sounded good there, Jay.
What?
The one on the B, the first one, that one sounded right. It was successful. The next one wasn't quite as successful, but it's a hard one. Doing grace notes when you're playing your third finger, it's harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to unmute me.
I didn't unmute you. You just happened to be unmuted. It was great. I never get to hear anybody. I'm always happy when people accidentally unmute themselves because I never get to hear anybody. It's my little chance to hear you. And it does. It sounds good. That first one was working really well. Yes, Sue?
You know, in that the third part where you were saying you put the roll in, the G, up to the G, and then the F. So you play the low G, and then is that roll taken over those 4 notes?
3 notes. The G, F, G. So you play the middle G, the D3, then you play that high G, then you play a G roll after.
Okay.
So it's 2 G's. It's a G and then one with a roll on it.
G. Okay.
Yeah, that would be confusing for sure. All right, good question. Any other questions about any of that stuff I just said? And I keep reminding everybody all the time that these ornaments, like that's my take on it. My best advice when you're trying to put ornaments in your music is to listen to a bunch of players playing this tune. Get some good ideas and come up with your own plan. I have my set of ideas, which you're more than welcome to. But it's a great starting point. That's what I'm trying to give people, good starting points. But when you want to get your own ornamental thing, that's my best advice. Listen to many players playing this tune. Come up with a plan for yourself, especially if you have a bag of tricks, like the grace note and the roll and the double stop or in the cut. If you have those in your bag of tricks, then you can kind of pull them out whenever you want. See what I mean? Anyway, very good. So, now, let's try the tune again. And I'm sure you guys are going to try some of these ornaments. All right? So I'm going to take her ease. I'm going to take her nice and easy, not too fast. Let's see. See if I can get a good tempo that will allow you guys to get some of these ideas. That should do it. I'd say that'd be a good tempo for you to try these ornaments, okay? And I'm going to exaggerate them. Big time. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, and... Did we manage to get any frills in there? Yeah, a few little things. That's excellent. Very good. So keep working on those. And, if anybody wants to send me a video of them playing this tune with their ornament plan and want to see if I think it's good, I'd love to hear that. Please go ahead and send me your ornament plan, okay? If you feel like it. I would love to hear it and give you feedback. Any questions about any of that before we move on to Troy's wedding? Anything at all?
Just define a roll for me. What are the...
Yes, very good.
Okay.
So a roll, first of all, is an Irish ornament, okay? We do them in Cape Breton too. A few of us, not many of us have done them in Cape Breton, but it's an Irish ornament. And what it is the melody note. In this case, it's a G, okay? So the melody note, the note above, the note again, the note below, and the note to finish. Like that. See that? It's 5 notes. That's a roll. So G, A, G, F, G. And the first G is a little longer. When you do it up to speed, it sounds like this. See that? That's a roll. You can do them on all the notes. I think I was telling everybody else at some time or other that when I was practicing rolls, I used to do them on a major scale. And then you get good at all of them. That's what it sounds like slow, which is really the only way to get them happening. All right? Does that answer your question, Jay?
Yes.
That's it. That's a roll.
The whole roll is done in the beat of the melody note.
That's correct. So, or it replaces a bit of the melody. A roll takes a dotted quarter note to go by. 3/8 notes of time. Okay? Because it's technically, if you look at it written out, it's an 8th note followed by 4 16th notes. All in one. Kind of like a triplet, except 5 notes. See what I mean? Yeah. That's what it looks like. So in this tune, it would replace the G, F, G. It would take that amount of time to do the roll and completely replace that.
Okay.
Does it make sense? It's really easier to put them in like for instance, the long notes at the end of each part, that's screaming out for a roll. It's a dotted quarter note on a D. You put a nice D roll on there if you want. And then you would understand how that works even better. Yeah. Good question, though. Good question. The amount of time that it takes and how it replaces the melody is something that stumps a lot of people when they're trying to get rolls into the music. Because you can't put them in like extra. You have to replace bits. Unless you have enough time, like a dotted quarter note. Or in the reels, when you see rolls in a reel, you'll often see a quarter note tied to an 8th note. And that's like screaming out for a roll there. See what I mean? Anyway, that's great. Good question. Any other questions about the ornaments at all? Anything at all? Okay, why don't we leave it for now? And like I said, I'd love to hear people's ornament plans. So please send them on in. Now let's take a look at Troy's wedding, shall we? Okay. Troy's wedding. Yes, and I have 2 copies of it because it's 2 pages, and I need to open 2 copies of it so I can see both pages at the same time. There we go. Perfect. And I can make mine a little bit smaller too. That would help. Yeah. There. Okay, Troy's wedding there, everybody. So, now, I know this is a complicated one. This is one of the harder ones we've done. The rhythm is nuts. I think that's really the hardest thing about it is the syncopation. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward tune. So let's go slow. Let's take her nice and easy. I'm thinking about a tempo that's kind of... somewhere around there, okay? Give your notes lots of length, and let's see if we can make this tune happen. Gotta get this back up here. The last part of it. There it is. Okay, nice and easy, everyone. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, now I'm just going to take a little breather there, because it's a long one, and I just want to check in. Anybody having any problems before we grind away at the damn thing?
I find that I'm okay with the parts until you get into the syncopation, and then I get lost. I'm not going fast enough to keep up with you.
Okay, good point there, Mel. So why don't we take the syncopated part out? Okay, let's take the syncopated part out and do it on its own. So that's part 3 of the tune, okay? And we're going to go slow. Okay, let's see if that works for everybody. Slow is not going to hurt anyone. So let's do it. Okay, nice and easy now. Ready? And... Oh, sorry guys, sorry. I reverted to a different version there because I wasn't looking. I promise I will look. And it was also a little quick. Ready, and... Again. Again. Now, how is that sitting? Mel, was that better that time at that speed?
Yeah, I could manage it that time.
Oh,
because
good.
I just need to practice up a lot to keep up to speed.
Well, certainly when I did this tune, I remember having to practice that part way more. And the other thing that I'm going to point out now for everybody to have a little reference is that if you look at it, 1, 2, 3 bars in is a relatively normal bar. Okay? It just has F-A-A-E-A-A. That's it. It's not very complicated, so you can kind of cling to that bar, you know? You're doing this here, and then you got a 1 breather. See that? That's easy. But then we got to get back into the... See that? So see if you can use that as a little landing point, you know, a little breather. And it might help a little bit, okay? Let's do it again, guys. Let's do it again, that same part. Okay, here we go. Ready? And... Again. One more time. Last time. Okay, now I'd like to try it faster, but I wanted to have a breather and check in. How's everybody doing now at that speed? Having any problems? Good, good. Think we could go faster? Yes, let's do it. Oh, God. See, this is what happens when you don't play for a week. That, like, taking time off is supposed to make your hand feel better. But for me, it just makes it feel worse. Like, it's better to just keep it rattling. Because a few days off and it starts to get stiff. My God. Okay, little tiny bit faster. It's going to be like this. Ready, 2, 3, and... Again. Ooh, that looked pretty good. That's encouraging. Very, very good. Okay, now why don't we try the whole thing once more, say at that speed, maybe twice, and we'll see how it fits in this time, okay? Okay. From the top, Troy's Wedding. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, and... Troy's wedding. How's she going, guys? Pretty good? That's great. That's excellent. So let's think about putting the two tunes together. So let me just reminisce about the Jig of Slurs here. Pretty straightforward transition there, guys. It's not too hard at all. So we got the last part of the Jig of Slurs. That's how it goes. Simple as that. The nice thing is that the Jig of Slurs ends on a long note. And so it gives you a second to get ready to play Troy's Wedding, which is 3 big A's. That's how you remember how that tune starts. 3 big A's. So let's give it a go. Let's do Troy's Wedding twice in the Cape Breton style, and then Jig of Slurs twice, and then Troy's Wedding twice. Let me get that up on my computer so that I don't confuse anyone. And see how it goes, the set. Okay. Oh, whoops. There. All right. Shall we give it a go? All the tunes. All the music. Okay, here we go. 2 times each. And it's going to be about this fast. 1, 2, 3, and... was a big long string of music. My God. I think it took us 11 minutes to play that set. How are we doing, everybody? Tell me now, in this group, who gets bothered in their right hand when they're playing for a long time? Does anybody get bothered in their right hand? No? How about the left hand? Yeah.
Left shoulder.
Yeah.
Right shoulder.
Right shoulder.
Yes.
Oh, you know what that tells me, Jay? It tells me that you're bringing your shoulder into the bowing a little bit. See that?
Yeah.
Now, that's a common thing. I remember back in the classical days, they used to kind of beat that out of people, bringing the shoulder in. And it might not be that you're really, really using it to bow, but you could be tensing it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be something to consider is to try to, you know what I don't know if you've ever done yoga, but the wife's got me doing yoga all the time. And the missus on the TV is like, breathe into the body part, breathe into the whatever you're trying to fix. And I've really noticed, like with my left hand, it does help. Like kind of breathing into it, it helps to relax. So for you, the fix would be somehow to get that shoulder relaxed.
What yoga class does she watch on YouTube?
Yoga with Adrienne. She's amazing. Yeah. She's amazing. It's really good. She got me onto it ages ago. I have the problems with my left hand, so I do these things to keep it at bay, you know, and I do yoga and I exercise and crap like that. And it still hurts after a while. My God. Jeez. I think I'm getting old. Anyway, watch that shoulder, Jay. That could be a bugger.
It is.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
For anybody that has their left shoulder that bothers them, so I thought that's what you were saying at first, adjust the shoulder rest. Keep screwing with it until all you have to do to hold the fiddle is this, and that. Okay? If you have to do anything else, weird moves, to hold that fiddle, it's not working right. You got to go back to the drawing board, get that shoulder rest so that you can just go, this, done. See that? Just like that. Anyway, now that I've distracted you, should we try it a little faster? It might help the shoulder too, because it'll take us less time to get through. I got this one student. He's a brand new beginner, you know, but he's a scientific guy. Like he's a scientist. His company is a big scientific company, and he wants to understand everything he's doing before he does it, you know. And he's like, okay, so this thing with tempo, like. So how do you get tunes faster? Do you time yourself playing the tune and then try to beat your time next time? I was like, no, do not try to beat your time. Just try getting it a little faster every time. Anyway, so we'll try this set of jigs now, just a little bit faster. We'll go something like this. Okay, it'll be a clip, but I think you can handle it. Just keep that bow moving and keep your helmet on and your guns up. I better get this music up so I can see it. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... was fun. How'd everybody get along? Did anybody get stopped by the syncopation going that fast?
Yes.
I got lost on the way to the wedding.
On the way to the wedding. maybe too much slurred speech to get to the before the wedding to get to the wedding, you know. Anyway, so my best advice is to just practice it slow, that tune. And, you know, I was going to say that you might want to do some work getting into the part and getting out of the part, but it's really kind of pretty easy to get in and out of that part because just before you get to that part, you got a great big long D, eh? And then the only thing you got to do is make sure your bow is going the right direction. I will tell you, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but much better to start that part on the down. If you start that part on the up, that is going to give you problems, definitely, okay? With that in mind, I'm going to suggest a pickup note if you need to turn around your bow. So you're playing here, I'll share my screen. There. Oh, why does that always happen? Okay. So basically you're playing this D here, right? Getting ready to play the syncopated part. And if you happen to be going down for the D, that means you're going to have to start the part on an up bow, which is a real pain in the butt. I do not recommend it. So if you happen to be going down for this D, I would play a little B there to turn my bow around. See that? I would add a B as a pickup note, and then that enables me to go down for that A. Now, going down for the part doesn't guarantee success, but it really, really helps. Believe me. You could try it. You could try it if you wanted, trying to start this part going up and see how awkward it is. But definitely just to start it on the down bow would be really useful. And like I said, if you need a pickup note, you use the B. That's what I use anyway. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, good. Okay. I'd say that we should leave that set for now because it's a very long set and I don't want to put you through it again. I think you can do that on your own, okay? Unless you want to, of course. I don't mind. No, we'll leave it for now. So what I was thinking about is a new tune for next week. And I could talk about it a little bit beforehand. So we've been doing lots of Scottish stuff. And I have... there's actually, I'm going to give you a choice, to tell you the truth. So we haven't done many slow airs. We did O'Carolan's Draft, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did O'Carolan's Draft. Very nice. I want to do something Scottish, okay? It's a tune called Huntington Castle. Has anybody ever heard of that tune? No? Oh, good. I was hoping that.
Yes.
Mel
Yes,
has.
we played it in the Georgetown Celtic. It's lovely.
Oh, it's just gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm going to play it for you.
Sandy taught it to his students also.
He did. That's why That's why I mention it. He's the one that reminded me of it years and years and years ago. And I know that lots of people do play it in Ontario because of Sandy. So I thought that would be a great tune to do. Let me just play you the tune. And then, so that's the Scottish choice. And then and then afterwards we play this tune. Sandy used to play this tune called The Warlocks, which is just a wicked Strasbourg. Really, really nice Strasbourg. We could do that. Or we could go Irish. So first of all, I'm going to play you Huntington Castle. See what you think of it, okay? It's going to mute everybody too. Is that everybody muted there? Almost. That's Huntington Castle. It's gorgeous. I just love it. And then the tune that we could go right into afterwards, like Sandy used to, is the Warlocks, which is just, it's usually a tune that people learn kind of early on in Cape Breton. Anyways, there you go. So that's the Scottish choice. I mean, we're going to do it all. But that's the Scottish choice. And I thought it'd be nice for summer, do a slow air, you know. But then I got to thinking about Michael Coleman when I was on my way home from the cottage. And about this tune that's called The Morning Dew. Now, first of all, has anybody ever heard of Michael Coleman? You have. No? No? Okay. Michael Coleman. Let me give you a quick lesson about him. So this is him, first of all. This is the man here, Michael Coleman. Okay? So he was from Sligo in Ireland, on the west coast of Ireland, a tiny little village called Gurcheen. And he came over to the States in 1890 or 1895, in around that time. Okay? He was on one of those boats like the Titanic. Anyway, he came over and he made these records, and it's basically for drinking money because he was a desperate alcoholic. And some producer said, "Come into my studio, play into this can, I'll give you $50." And he did. And the records ended up being legendary, and they went back to Ireland, and people are what they call followers of Coleman. Okay? And certainly Coleman, Michael Coleman, yeah, Coleman. And certainly my family were also followers of Coleman. We had the records. He went on to make a few more. And you can get them as a box set. And it's really good stuff. It's Sligo fiddling. It's the best example of Sligo fiddling from the time. And it went viral, 1895 viral. Well, it was 1916 when he made the records. And everybody loves Michael Coleman. And the stuff that you learn from his music is like Irish 101. You can use it on any tune. You can use it wherever you like when you learn this stuff with the left hand. So that's Michael Coleman. Now let me play you. He was so revered that his sets are still played together. Right? The tunes that he put together are still played together. And if you play different combinations, people give you dirty looks over there, you know? So one of the main sets that he's really well known for is the Tarbolton, followed by the Longford Collector, followed by the Sailor's Bonnet. They call it the Holy Trinity. Nobody would ever split those tunes up. They've been played together ever since then. And another combination of tunes is called The Morning Dew and The Woman of the House. The Morning Dew is my favorite of the two because it has a bit of everything for Irish fiddle. Let me show you. That's the Morning Dew. You hear all those tricks in it. It's like a buffet of Irish fiddle, you know? And if you get the tricks involved, you really do get everything you need. And then he played The Woman of the House. tune. Beautiful. It doesn't have as many tricks, but it's also a very valuable one to get. And if we learn the Morning Dew, we're going to have to learn Woman of the House, because I'm not going to send you out there with a half a Coleman set. You know what I mean? It's just not right. Anyway, so what do you think? What do you guys like better to start with, for the next couple of weeks? Do you want to do the Scottish or you want to do the Irish? How many people want to do the Scottish?
Me.
Okay, so that's most. So that's what we'll do, okay? We'll do Huntington Castle. And the if you have it, and I saw Jay going and getting the book out, Sandy's book. Yeah, it's on page 6. Huntington Castle, page 6, okay? It also has the Warlock. I will take a picture of it and send it to everybody so that you have a picture of it. But if you have Sandy's book, then it's easy to access Huntington Castle, okay?
I missed the name of the second tune in the set that starts with Charbolton. What was the name of it?
It's called the Longford Collector.
Okay, thanks.
And the last one is the Sailor's Bonnet.
Longford. Yeah, I got the last one. I just didn't get the middle one.
Yeah, okay, the Longford Collector, and Longford is the place in the very middle of Ireland. It's where all the roads kind of cross, and it is the crappiest place you've ever been in your life. It's also the lowest point of land in Ireland, so it's basically the Dust Bowl. And it's just awful. It's nothing but transport trucks going through, but they do have a festival there that I played once.
So for his music, would you find good versions on the session, would you say, if you're curious to look?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I can go ahead and look for them and see if there's a good version. But, there's 1,000 versions of the Tara Bolton, for instance. I'll tell you where to get the Tara Bolton. A really good version of the Tara Bolton is in the Sky Collection, surprisingly enough. Scottish book, the Sky Collection, which is easy. If you look on Google for the Sky Collection, you might even find somebody has taken a picture of it. You know what I mean? Very good version in the Sky Collection. I wonder if it's in Sandy's book, because he played it. He played it all the time. Let's see. Where's the index? Here it is. Reels. No, he doesn't have it in here. But yeah, so we'll talk about it. We'll get a good version of it. Carefulofthesession.org, of course. If you look... Oh, of course, O'Neill's collection. What am I thinking? You guys know about O'Neill's collection?
No.
Oh, it's what they call the Bible for Irish music. It's this guy, Chief Francis O'Neill, who in 1906... went around Chicago and collected he was a flute player, he collected every tune from every Irish person in Chicago and put it together into O'Neill's. They also call it Ryan's Mammoth Collection. It's 1,050 tunes in it or something like that, but it's everybody calls it O'Neill's. And it's actually on the internet. I noticed that somebody scanned the whole thing, made PDFs of it on the internet, but that's a really good resource for Irish music. It's the resource that everybody uses. He made the versions because he collected them from different areas of Ireland. They would be different versions, so he put together these versions that are open-ended. Like, for instance, he didn't put any ornamentation, write in any ornamentation, because it was different according to who he got the tune from. So people find the versions in O'Neill's to be very easy to work with and very easy to dress up. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I love O'Neill's. I always go back to it. I have it here in my cabinet, and I always go back to it for reliable versions. Okay? Anyway, but that's enough of that nonsense. So we're gonna do Huntington Castle next time, guys. Okay? So I'm gonna now take a picture of it and send it to you all, and I'll record it, put it up on the YouTube channel, and next time we'll take a crack at it. Okay? Any questions or concerns or comments or complaints there this evening?
It's been great. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, no problem. Okay, cool. So we'll see everybody next Thursday, and I'll get that material out straight away. All right?
Thank you.
Thanks a million.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. See you guys.